That's enough talking about Valnar's Vampire Survivors addiction. Where are you, Mr. Keeper? There you are. Let's see what we can make happen. Like I just mentioned, but for YouTube's sake I'll re-mention it. I did go to the dentist today, which will probably be the bulk of the stories I have to tell this time, but I'm mentioning it as well because I got very numbed up with the, you know, the injection thingies. It's still not fully worn off, so if I sound a little puffy, that'll be why. Also, just in general, my jaw is sore. Probably from all those drills going into it. And yes, we need to go fast in case I get Hush and die to Hush for the 3rd time in a row. Thank you, Rydog, for resubbing for 57 months. You're very welcome for the content. You might get to that 1 year. We can only hope. Lost Fly is not that great, but either way. Hello, Kitty. And anyone else I missed saying hello. Sorry, we just kind of jumped straight in there. And as I was saying, we're probably doing a repeat docket just because I didn't think of anything else to try or to fit in. But we have a new thing to try tomorrow, so that's fine. And apparently it's good. Small rock? Nope. I keep on wanting to call it Nobody Saves... Wait, what did I call it before? Nobody is a Hero? Isn't that a game from the PSP? I feel like it is. It was like a roguelike-ish by the guys who make Disgaea games. And you play as like a nobody who isn't a hero but has to take over for a hero, and then you like constantly live, die, repeat to get stronger. It was called something like that. I didn't play it that much, it wasn't that good, but still. Lily. You wish you weren't working because you want to play more Vampire Survivor. That's a funny way to say join for more Friday the 13th. I mean, we basically got every letter wrong. It was... oh wow. It was for the PSP or PS Vita. I'm pretty sure it was PSP. No wait, what? I'm not taking magnetic tears, are you mad? Absolutely not. Or Strange Attractor, I mean. What was it called? Well, hang on, maybe it'd be easier to look up Nipponichi Software's video games from like PSP era. That's who do the Disgaea games. And I'm fairly certain it was by them. It was their one foray for quite a while into something that wasn't a Disgaea game. And it didn't do that well, so then they just went back to making Disgaea games. Which I guess was kind of smart. I don't have the time for them anymore, that's why I don't try and dabble in them anymore. Because I've put many 100 hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours into Disgaea games. Probably more than I put into Monster Hunter games. No, at this point there's been so many more Monster Hunter games I've played, it's probably overtaken, but it'd be close. Prinny, can I really be the hero? No, because you didn't play as a Prinny, you were definitely a dude. You were a dude who sees a superhero get run over by a car, and you take his magic belt and you take his superpowers. Something like that. Although I did also play the Prinny game, and that wasn't good either. Thank you for reminding me that the Prinny game was a thing. It's the equivalent of there being a Minions movie, or whatever those yellow things are called. Nope, keys. No map, no keys, no problems, no worries, etc. No one's finding it. I don't know if I want to pause this early in a video to Google, but I'd know it if I saw it. I might be wrong that it's a Nipponichi Software game. I could have sworn it was by them though. Hero Must Die? I don't remember it being called that. Hang on, I'll just quickly type in Hero Must Die. Hero Must Die PSP. Let's try that. Nope, absolutely not. It was modern. It was like sci-fi, kinda. Hang on. Nipponichi Software PSP games. It auto-filled. Is that because so many of you are checking? There it is. I recognize the front cover. Oh no, that's the Japanese name though. The Japanese name is Zetai Hiro Kaizu Kikaku. What does that mean? Like costumed hero something plan? Something like that, but I recognize the characters on the front cover. That's definitely that one. Oh! Zero Hero Project, Unlosing Ranger versus Dark Death Evil Man. That's the title. How could I forget such a memorable title? It's such a memorable name. I forgot that the villain in that game is called Dark Death Evil Man. It was pretty funny, I just didn't like the gameplay that much. It wasn't a good roguelike. Yeah, and it's broken into chapters like a Disgaea game is as well, and each chapter, like Disgaea does this thing where they break the fourth wall after every chapter to do jokes. And the thing they did in that game was like a stoner couple on a couch just talking about the things they're seeing happen on the news. I don't know why I can remember these things. I honestly haven't. This is the first time I've thought about that game since I last played it in whatever year it was released. But either way, we got to the end of the solution. We got the name. I've already forgotten it. Something hero something Dark Death Evil Man. There, got it. Easy. In 2 weeks it'll be your birthday. Nice. Stay safe. Like I was saying to the chat, I only hope America and everywhere else in the world apparently defeats COVID in the same way that England apparently has, given that there's no restrictions from next week at all. No face masks. No nothing. No vaccination passports. No checking. No working from home allowed. Which presumably means they've successfully defeated COVID. Which would give the secret to everybody else. Now we play the game of, did I get the item room on this floor? And I think the answer is no. I also noticed that they stopped reporting on how many people are getting infected a day again. In time with that news being released. Which presumably means that the number is 0. Definitely not in the hundreds of thousands. In case that's what you were thinking, because that'd be ridiculous. The sheer stupidity. It's baffling, honestly. And they're trying to push the narrative that Omicron isn't as lethal. Oh, it's highly infectious, but it's not lethal. Oh yeah, those people that all died from it, yeah, don't worry about that. They just weren't built well enough. Oof, 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 oof. Just reading what Chris B said about someone refusing to refresh their browser to get up-to-date results. Oh no. I did see a relatively sad story, but it was shared deliberately by the family to show, like, hey, don't be this stupid. So I think it was Swedish. Somewhere around there in Europe, a fairly famous folk singer died because she deliberately exposed herself to COVID when her husband and son caught it, so that she could get a immunity contract or passport or something to go to places she wouldn't have otherwise been allowed because she chose to be unvaccinated. The father and son were vaccinated, and she caught it. She thought she was fine. She thought she was getting better. She suddenly could barely stand and then was dead the next day. So they shared the story to be like, hey, don't be this stupid. It was on the BBC News website today if you want to go read it. I read it in the car. Thank you, Jeff, for 52 months in total, but 7 in a row with Twitch Prime. Wow, that's lame. Which part? This the sad story about the lady that died, or England defeating COVID before everybody else? Winky face. The story. Yep. It wasn't a case of her having the hubris to like expose herself on purpose. She wanted to go to bars. Whoops. Like that's what you did. That's it's just insane. Well, anyway, to get off that subject. Incidentally, when I said I was in the car, obviously I don't drive. My mother was driving to drive me back to my old area because that's where my dentist is. As I've discussed way too many times before. How's the run? Too early to tell. But also hello. So this is me getting caught up on a year and a half-ish of replacing fillings and a chipped tooth that has happened. Because the lockdown happened March last year, but COVID started being a thing like the tail end of 2019. Pretty sure I hadn't been to the dentist for a while prior to that, because if you don't need anything done, it's every 6 months. Wait, can I do this to get over here? You used to be able to do that. Huh. So I'm pretty sure it was a few months, at least a few months before that was the last time I'd went. And then not that long into lockdown, I chipped a tooth. I was like, well, if it doesn't hurt and it's not an emergency, you just have to live with it. I kind of got used to it, honestly. I stopped noticing it eventually. And since then, a couple of fillings have fallen out. Old fillings. Damn it. March 2 years ago? Wait, was it March 2019 that lockdown started? It was? I'm genuinely having to stop and think to make sure you're not shitting me. Oh, sorry, March 2020, not 2019. Your son was 4? That just shows just like what happens when everyone just kind of like stays in the, well, not everyone, but most people stay in the house for 2 years. So actually it has been like 2 years then since I've been to the dentist. So yeah, I needed some stuff done. Thankfully I did not take care of my teeth when I was younger, which is why I have so many fillings. But as an adult I do, so you very, very rarely have I ever had like a new filling as an adult. It's happened, not going to deny that. But mostly when I need to go to the dentist, it's replacing old fillings from when I was younger. So I needed to start a run again because I just died. That's what I needed to do. Which one is this? Is this a stat reroll? Nope. I want an actual item, please. Night Models released a new picture. They updated the other one today. Sorry, I want to go check. They're releasing yet another Joker miniature. I want to check if those stat cards are on their website. I'm mid-story about going to the dentist, and I know people are like hanging on the edge of every word to know how my trip to the dentist went. Nope, no stat card. Still fine. Let's go see this picture. Their Instagram isn't loading. Is Instagram down? Have we finally defeated the beast? Oh, they have filled in the third picture. You're right. That's interesting. Because earlier today I saw the second one. I put it in Discord. Oh yeah, that's definitely Joker teeth. So it's probably not Jonah Hill then, or not Jonah Hill. Jonah, whatever his name, Hex. Hex, that's the one. It could absolutely be 3 Jokers, that's right. If it is, then that's really interesting. That's a very good standalone book. It's not connected to comic continuity at all, but it's a good book. I spoke about it back when I read it. It shows the kind of like what if scenario that there's never been one Joker, there's been 3 of them. But anyway, back to the important discussion, which is the trip to the dentist. They're still doing the full, like the full COVID stuff. I don't know how it's working for Scotland up here. I think they're still easing some stuff soon, but they're not like saying mission accomplished, we won, like England is. Hello, Truthie. But this is the first thing I want to point out. So they did this for my checkup as well. The day before you're due, they send you a text message and an email saying, hey, fill out this form, confirm you don't have COVID, confirm you don't have COVID symptoms, all that stuff. Also update your medical records if you need to, which I did the first time, didn't need to this time. But then there was this other thing that was Trixie. And I was a little disappointed when I saw it. And I learned the last time when I was there for a checkup, it was under new management. So this is probably their doing. But they just give you all this stuff to fill in to say you've not got COVID and whatnot, and sign, is what you have to digitally sign. But tucked away in there is a third one that they expect you just to click OK on and then save. But I stopped to read it, and it was, from time to time we'd like to send you advertisements, so do you consent to us doing this and potentially saving your information, blah 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 blah. I was like, no, I don't consent to you doing that. Where's the no button? There is no button. So I was like, okay, so they want me to sign this, but I don't agree to this term. So what do? And I discovered what you do is you just press the X on the contract and it counts it as done. But that is a super duper sneaky ass way to force or trick people into consenting to you advertising to them. And I did not like that at all. They hid the way to back out, they implied it was required, and they hid in small text what it was for. I mean, that's not stupidity, that's like, it's malicious. There's intent. I'm gonna leave that there in case I need health. I should learn to do that. Like, leave one sitting. Now the experience of going to the dentist itself, and my dentist, she's a very nice lady, nothing wrong with her at all. Her name is on the door, but I guess she's not the owner anymore, or maybe like she's co-owning it or something, but whatever. She's a nice lady, but that was a little bit of underhanded marketing that I didn't like. I was actually surprised because my dentist also remembered that I was a streamer. Maybe it's just because it's such a weird thing to say that you do. Or it's maybe that she remembered that I get nervous at the dentist and she just, like, picked up on things to talk about to distract, which might also be a thing, I don't know. I don't get nervous because it's the dentist, again. I don't mind the dentist at all. It's just I had a panic attack there once, so your body remembers. But she remembered I was a streamer and I was wearing my Twitch socks. Actually, maybe that's what reminded her. Maybe she saw them. No, but she didn't know what Twitch was, so no, probably not. It turns out her relative is a playtester for Rockstar North. So he's in the credits of... Well, she didn't know which game, but one of the Grand Theft Autos from recent years. What's the plan of these runs again? Hush, Mega Satan, or one of the new routes, although I'm mostly focusing on Hush and Mega Satan. For now. I would have said potentially 4. Because Rockstar North did 4 as well, didn't they? She didn't make it sound like it was recent. That's not going to do anything for him because 3 is his max health, so I'm just going to have to ignore it. And we were kind of talking into, because this is like once they numb you up, and because I had like 3 fillings to replace, I had to get jabbed like in 3 different places. That's why my jaw is still sore. From both getting drilled into and also because I just got the numb injections in 3 different places. So it took a little while for it all to get done, so she was just, we were nattering, and she has no interest in video games. Her husband apparently has a full-sized arcade with like Pac-Man and stuff on it, which sounds pretty cool. But she said, oh, you've got to have a, or like that's your passion, I get it, and then I said something along the lines of, well yeah, you've got to follow your passion. And then she kind of laughed at me and said, Ian, dentistry is not my passion. It's my job. And we shared a little bit of a laugh. I kind of thought it was her passion, because if you do it for something for years and years and years, you've got to have at least some passion for it, right? It's not just a paycheck. Well, I can't say I've ever had a passion for retail work, and I did that for years and years and years, so Prime is not available yet. You shouldn't be getting ads, I don't run ads. It does also say you're still subbed, so that's doubly confusing. Well, that's fair. You could be passionate about the money you get from the job rather than the job itself. I guess that's... Well, there you go. Wait, that's not a Prime, that's your normal sub. Well, assuming that's what you meant to use, thank you. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, because I imagine dentistry does sort of pay well. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. 3 fillings, and again, this is an NHS dentist, so the NHS covers like part of the cost, so it's not ridiculous. It was still 50 quid for 3 fillings. And the worst part is there's still one on the other side of my mouth to do, and then they charge for that cleaning where they take a, I don't know, a scalpel to the front of your teeth to make them cleaner. A scaling they call it, but I think it's actually just mild torture. £50 is not an insignificant amount of money. I know it's less expensive than in America, but that's because your healthcare is a scam. Key for a bomb. Nope, I used the bomb as well. I made a loss. You got 2 crowns without insurance and it came to $2,500. Ka-ching! I'm in the wrong line of work. I should be an American dentist. Paid $4,000 for a bridge with insurance? It's insane. Going to need braces? Isn't it a bit late to be correcting your teeth? Like, you're an old man. Oops. Oh yeah, I got Celtic Cross, that's actually very handy. I was reading Cham, learning about how the American con works, by which I mean their insurance system. Ah, but wait, why didn't you get braces when you were 16 then? Wouldn't that have corrected the issue then? You know, I think like now that you mention it, I think I have a little bit of a teeth, like one tooth has a different feel along the base than the rest. I never bothered pointing it out because it's not like it doesn't seem to make a difference. But I wonder if that's because of like an overbite or an underbite or whatever. I've had one wisdom tooth out. I don't remember what it cost. I probably complained about it at the time though. Ah, I see. Ragman 2? The sequel? Well. So that was pretty much my day after getting the dentistry done. Came home very numb, very sore once the numbness started to wear off. Took a paracetamol and have just been kind of moping around watching Columbo. Well, I did a bit of painting, but nothing much. I really hoped for an angel deal there. That's unfortunate. That reminds me, I watched the William Shatner episode of Columbo, which I remember seeing years ago on TV, but it reminded me of a story. And that is, George Takei despises William Shatner. He has a one-way feud with him. Like, he absolutely despises his guts. And I did a little research into this once, because I was curious why he despised him so much. And it basically boils down to William Shatner not acknowledging his existence and not caring to. And I see there's an interview on YouTube where at some fan fest, a member of the audience asked William Shatner, like, what's up with this feud with George Takei? And he said, it's a one-way feud. I don't know the man. I can't tell you whether I like him or dislike him. We sort of worked together, but we never communicated outside of the on-air lines. I don't know him. I don't know why he doesn't like me. I couldn't tell you one way or the other whether or not he's likable or not. And that was like his stance on it. So it feels like it's a one-way feud. And of the main cast of the original Star Trek, Leonard Nimoy, who played Spock obviously, DeForest Kelley, who played Bones, they never had any problem with Shatner. Obviously he's got an ego, and he's turned into a very strange and horrible old man, but back then he was mostly just an egotistical young actor. And the other two main stars of the show got on with him. Secondary stars, Uhura and whatnot, they don't mind him, but I found this story by what was the name of the actor who played Chekhov? I'm blanking on it. It's going to bug me. What's his name? Walter Koenig, thank you. A story from him where he said he was telling a story about Shatner because he sides with George Takei that he doesn't really like Shatner. And he was telling a story about how much later, after working on Star Trek together, he was on a project with William Shatner. And they met, and William Shatner came up to him, they shook hands, and then William Shatner said, "Oh, hello, nice to meet you." He had no idea who Walter Koenig was, he had no idea they'd worked together on Star Trek. And as a result, Walter Koenig also kind of held a bit of a grudge. And now I know what that project was. It was Columbo. Because in the William Shatner episode of Columbo, Walter Koenig is playing one of the cops that's talking to Columbo at the start. So that's the project they were talking about. Where he did not remember the man. I mean, the main cast of the original Star Trek is Spock, Kirk, and McCoy. The rest of the characters were secondary, and the red shirts were there to die. So I think some of the secondary characters were maybe a little bit... they thought they were larger and more important than they were. Not that I side with Shatner on most things, because he is an asshole with an ego. But in that particular case, like, you know. Does Shatner have memory issues? Not that I know of, no. I did also learn that unfortunately, much later in life, Peter Falk had Alzheimer's though. Which is a great shame. Also, this is just like going down the YouTube rabbit hole of finding like documentaries and interviews incidentally. But there was maybe even to this day, there's been a massive dispute between the estate of Peter Falk's second wife, because he was married twice, and one of his stepdaughters fighting over his estate. I even found a video where his stepdaughter commented on it, which is interesting. Apparently it was his last public appearance, so she was very sad to see that he was being traipsed around while suffering from Alzheimer's. Oh! Thanks, game. Hang on, I need to focus. Okay, now done. Damage and an angel deal! And no health. Excellent. Oh, what happened to you, Keeper? You used to be pretty. Yeah, especially if it's not like... Kirk didn't really have that many interactions outside of the full crew shots. So honestly, it makes sense that he doesn't really remember them that well. At that point, and keep in mind this was the 80s as well, I mean since then possibly. But I believed his stance because it doesn't make him look good to say, I don't know them. Like, I know nothing about them, so I'm not going to say one way or the other whether they're nice or not, which is the right stance to take in that particular thing. Ooh, nearly. Hello, shells. See if I can get a beggar. Okay, good. Let's maybe try and get another HP just to heal me to full. Oh yeah, that's true also, yeah. Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner did fall out for quite a while. That was as like late stage old men though, wasn't it? Like long after the Star Trek days? Oh, they reconciled as old men. So it's a bit like Harold Ramis and Bill Murray. Oh, incidentally, I have no interest in seeing Ghostbusters Afterlife, but I found some scenes of it on YouTube, including the end, and I cringed so hard I almost turned inside out. How dare they abuse Harold Ramis's memory of a man who did nothing but write irreverent satirical comedies in a bunch of sentimental bullshit for 60-year-olds. It is awful. Had he died a thinner man, he would have been spinning in his grave. Just awful. Also, Ghostbusters is meant to be a comedy. Not a remember this, tug at your heartstrings. Is there a link to the video? I would imagine you can find it pretty easily. Unless YouTube has deleted them or they've been DMCA'd. Type in like Ghostbusters after is it after? I was gonna say Afterbirth. It's Afterlife it's called, right? Ending. Just type that into YouTube, you'll find the video. In the midst of watching a video regarding the supposed death of Overwatch, I saw there's a picture of my 6th Torbjorn match. You mean used in the video, or do you mean just like running alongside it?
Ace of diamonds.
I did see, I didn't see the video, but I saw a reference to it on Reddit. Like, someone did a video about the death of Overwatch. I don't know what the video said, but I can certainly tell you what killed Overwatch. It was trying to make a fun hero shooter into a competitive game. That's what killed it. Nothing else. Oh, it was used in the video. So you're saying I should sue? No, that's fine. That falls under fair use. It's not the first time my videos have been used without my knowledge or permission. And who knows, Microsoft might make Overwatch 2 good now. just concentrate on what the essence of it was when it first launched. It is just fun. Or it was. I don't really have high hopes that that will ever happen, but... Blue Baby's only friend, does that do anything for me? Might as well. I wouldn't mind if they just used the well, Microsoft could do this too actually, and just give me what I wanted years and years and years ago, which is an XCOM ripoff but set in the Overwatch world. I think it would be really good. Although I'd also just settle for a new XCOM game. Why are you wanting him to DM you a video that for 1 second use a thumbnail from one of my videos? You could just go to the video itself on my channel, it's still there. Wait, they asked? Oh! I read can you, but it's you can. I see. Look, when you speed read, sometimes you fill in the blanks and read words the wrong way around. Yes, Marvel XCOM is still happening, it's just they've delayed it because... I don't know why they delayed it. They just delayed it. I don't think they gave a reason. Hello, Zarin. Again, I mean, if you desperately want to link the video, but I don't care that they used a thumbnail for one of my videos, it's fine. It would be nice if they credited their sources, as you should do, but I imagine they won't have. Just for the exposure. Ow. This boss takes too long to die. It should be an enter the gungeon. Oh, a speed up, just what the run needed. The tears up would make me go faster. How's the run going? Poorly. Well, that end screen picture is also what I used for the thumbnail. If I remember rightly. That's the video where, once I uploaded it, someone put a comment on it saying, "How dare you rip off my idea, you've stolen this!" And then I looked at their channel, and they also had a 6 Torbjorn video, which is not something you can copyright incidentally, but it was uploaded a few days after mine. So yeah, okay. That sounds like you're telling the truth. How many floors is that now where I've not been able to see my HP? I want to say it's at least 3. Maybe not sequentially, but in total. For some sentimental reason you went looking for a watch to rewatch it. I understand that. That makes perfect sense. I go back and watch old videos I enjoyed. Not of my own, but of other people's, I mean. Because sometimes the videos you watched back then get attached to things you were doing at the time more so than the videos themselves. Like if you were at college at the time, maybe it reminds you of the times you had at college. Maybe some family time, you know, that kind of stuff. What did you take to achieve that? Speed? tried. Oh, not being able to see my health? It's a curse. It's the curse of the unknown. It's just random chance, which is why I was asking. Because having it for so many floors in a row, or not maybe in a row, but so many floors in general in a single run is a little unheard of. Hey, my mother quizzed me with a real life Columbo-esque mystery. Because she, like, we were driving back after the dentist and she said, oh, did I tell you about your aunt's debit cards getting cloned or used without permission? And I was like, no. And she explained that somebody had used my aunt's card to buy a month of Xbox Live and then used my uncle's to buy like 80 quid worth of clothing or something. Which you think, okay, so maybe they got cloned by dodgy ATM or something like that. Those relatives don't live in this country, they live in Australia. Those cards exist purely for when they are here holidaying. And the cards that were used by someone who wasn't them, they've never been used before and sit in my mother's drawer. So she went to the bank to get them cancelled obviously and she was like, how did this happen? Those cards have literally never been used. How did someone get this information? And they didn't know. And she doesn't know and I don't know. The only thing I can think of, well, outside of someone potentially just guessing a bunch of numbers required, is maybe like the bank had a security issue and didn't want to make it known. That's the only thing I can think of. Internal corruption, says evil vice president. Old Overwatch videos with Pepper seem a world away from the ones you recognise today. You didn't see Friday the 13th yesterday, did you? Pepper joined us for that, and so did her outside voice. Although thankfully I get a genuine bug for some reason that I can't hear whoever's playing as Jason once I'm dead. So I couldn't hear half of what Pepper was saying. What? Bank attendants steal info from cards that seem inactive. Oh, there you go. That kind of makes sense. Sounds like you've done this before, Mr. Evil, if that is your first name. Didn't get a deal with Angel, you son of a bitch. Still got a chance though. You had a great run on Vampire Survivors, you lived 25 minutes. We're going to be playing that after this run, win or lose. Evil B. Evilson. Damn it, I'm not even going to die to Hush. I'd have to do this entire double floor in a minute and a half, really. So, we need an angel deal and the other half of the key, or we need to live to the chest and get Dad's key. Although that would be... Oh, hey, I can see my HP. That's refreshing. Damn it. One nice thing about the Keeper is he takes the same level of damage for the entire game. You don't have to worry about double damage once you get down to these floors. It's always one coin whether you like it or not. Speaking of which, what kind of numbers are we looking at for Friday the 13th? If that's what we're doing after Vampire Survivors. Which is just an absolutely terrible name for that game. I don't even think you're fighting vampires. You're fighting skeletons and ghosts and such. Oh yeah, CR wanted to play. I don't think we're at a point where people would have to sit out. I'm pretty sure we have we always have a deficit more so than too many. What's the opposite of deficit? When you have too many rather than lacking. An excess. There we go. Or surplus. There we go. That's a good one too. Hey, you're not allowed to say surplus after I said surplus. That was my word. You think of a synonym. Or so help me God, I'll turn this dictionary around. Oh, that's some good ones. Do what you want. If I knew how to pronounce the word dictionary as seen upside down, I would. Ow. This could still be the way to the bosses. Excuse me, it's neither a dictionary nor a thesaurus because everybody just uses the internet these days. They don't use books. What are you, some kind of old man? I'll use my credit card. This is a very nasty looking room. Thankfully the masks didn't all come and get me. Now they are though, so it's getting difficult to get in there. Well, Jeff just outed himself as being old. Get him, young people! I need more items. Let's try this. I have instant regret. Even though I do enjoy the noise they make when they attack. Oh, I have another video recommendation on YouTube, which was just a random one again because I was just sitting sulking in my chair after getting back because I was sore and numb. I was just watching whatever YouTube was recommending to me, and it showed me a clip from the Graham Norton show of Patrick Stewart telling a story about his circumcision to Hugh Jackman, which is a string of words, I know, but Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart were on the show, and Patrick Stewart tells the story of how for his entire life he was under the impression that he was circumcised until he was talking to his wife one day and she was like, "You're not circumcised." He was like, "I think I should know." And then he discovers, because he went to his doctor for a physical the next day, he has been mistaken his entire life because he didn't know what circumcised was. And he is in fact not circumcised. It's a very funny story, and like, Hugh Jackman's just pissing himself laughing as he's listening. It's great. It's on YouTube again, as it recommended it to me. Yes, the doctor did say, "Look, I'm Jewish. I should know the difference." Enemies? No. Enemies? God, those are annoying. Yeah, it was just kind of, I just kept on refreshing, and if I saw a video that caught my attention, I was like, yeah, I'll watch that, sure. Yeah, he didn't know the difference and he believed what he was told. Actually, yeah, this is a good room to use that in. I went around in a circle. This map looks like a ship from FTL. I bet it's top right, because didn't I start? It could be down here. I don't know about yours, but my recommendations always seem to suggest at least something that catches my eye. Even if it's stupid. It's a lot of like animals doing funny things, or like YouTube channels that exploit empathy. By that I mean all their videos are titled like "Dog who was abandoned for 10 years gets new owner, this is how they reacted." You know, that kind of stuff. Perhaps you shouldn't have the name Evil Vice President then. Maybe that's on you. Because I don't see any political stuff. Not a single thing. Well, there's a, like, if you scroll down enough, there's a line of, like, current events, but that's a line and you can get rid of it. That's the only reason I know, since I don't have a television, that as Boris Johnson ages, he more and more resembles a mop that you're about ready to throw out. What? I feel like that's the politest I've ever insulted someone. Doesn't that make sense? I think EVP would rather complain about the alright videos than get rid of them. Where the hell are these bosses? This is like the delirium floor. Yeah, 36 minutes, yeah, definitely not going to make Hush then. Okay, well in that case I'm going to have to insert the picture from The Simpsons. I've tried nothing and I'm all out of ideas. Because I am suggested stuff I don't want to watch. I just click that little thing, don't recommend video, or don't recommend the entire channel, and it works. Every time. You should confuse the algorithm by putting in a bunch of, like, can't possibly be connected to politics search terms. How to whittle a bush, or whittle a stick. What is it you do? You whittle sticks, right? How to whittle a stick. How to forge a sword. How to tame a dragon. Matrix 2. Columbo. British Television Awards. And then just wait 24 hours, press refresh, and your problem will be solved. I mean, your recommended videos will be absolutely screwed, but it won't be political stuff. You don't whittle a sword, maybe. Oof. Oh, this is why we leave pennies around. Found the bosses just in time to die to one of them. Well, the run has actually been going along, because I forgot we did die early on and restart. But this one has still been slow. No tears up. That's what gets you. Skull X plus helpers. Could be a little bit of a long fight, not bomb fight. He's not even half dead. At least I know where he is when that effect's kicking in. From the pepper. Yeah, but his tear rate is terrible. Oh good, an item that does nothing. I thought that I was going to die in a hit. I was very wrong. Didn't I get Loki's horns? No, wait, that was in the last run. Killing so slowly, she's spawning enemies. A bomb went miles. No! Yeah, it was a rubbish run anyway.